From the topic of working mothers, the focus today is on after-school programs specifically within the Chicago Public School District. As a working mothers group, we wanted to shed light on an issue that resonates with us in our daily lives as well as our communities. I would like to thank you for both your time and your consideration. The Chicago Public School System currently serves over 100,000 teenagers each year, with 77.7% of them coming from economically disadvantaged families. Many families of these teenagers are made up of working parents who are not available during the hours immediately following the end of the school day to supervise them. The lack of after-school programs for working families creates many at-risk youths. After-school programs are a great alternative and offer a safe place for teens to go for academic support and enrichment activities. Currently, the Chicago Public School System lacks after-school program availability at little to no cost for low-income and at-risk families of teens. So why am I targeting the Chicago Board of Education? The Board of Education plays a pivotal role as the governing body of the Chicago Public School System, serving approximately 371,000 students every single year. Board members have control over and determine the allocation of the operating budget for the public school systems. The aim is to implement after-school programs for little to no cost and make them available for every single family within the public school system. And this is where the board comes into play. I believe that the redistribution of the budget could benefit after-school programs, increase funding to assist teens, and reduce the amount of at-risk youth. Today, I'm reaching out to you because of the Office of Early Childhood Education's mission statement. They are committed to engaging students in high-quality learning experiences that support and respect the unique potential of each individual through best professional practices and meaningful family and community engagement. As well, I'm aiming to represent these individuals and assist through positive change. I implore your assistance to effect change for the vulnerable population that I believe has been falling through the cracks. Allowing these students to succeed does not only change their lives, but greatly affects their families as well as your community. So now, let's take a deeper look. In 2010, as a result of delinquent behaviors, there were almost 19,000 juvenile arrests in Chicago alone. More specifically, about 25% of all homicide arrests that took place in Chicago were due to juveniles. A 2017 report shows that nearly 27% of teens are out of school and do not have a job. So what does that mean? More than a fourth of the teen population could be out on the streets at any given time. Of course, you're going to see a rise in delinquent behavior. Numerous studies support this connection in stating that neighborhoods with the highest rates of crime correlate directly with the rate of teens who are not engaged in school or work. Similarly, youth who are actively engaged in school programs are less likely to commit crimes. The critical hours between 3 to about 7 p.m., the time between the end of the school day and before caretakers come home from work. This is when teens are most at risk to conduct their delinquent behaviors. Unsupervised youth are more likely to engage in risk behaviors such as alcohol use, drug use, and unsafe sex. When youth engage in these risky behaviors, they are more likely to commit crimes and possibly be arrested and detained. Youth who are detained for crimes show higher rates of recidivism and drug and alcohol use. So what's the bottom line? Numbers show that there's a crisis occurring in Chicago communities among teens. I believe at-risk teens need additional resources available to keep them from engaging in these delinquent behaviors. So what are the current resources? As of now, the Chicago Public School System offers 8 after-school programs, but of these 8, there are only 2 that aim to aid the child in areas other than academics alone. More specifically, there's only 1 program that offers a well-rounded structure. After School Matters. Looking at the diagram provided above from After School Matters, at the top portion you can see this number, 35K. 35,000. This is the number of students that apply every single year to this program. Now looking diagonally across from that number, you see a little 15,000 in the corner. This is the number of students that actually participate and get accepted into the program. So 40% of the students that apply each year get accepted. While in theory that sounds great, it is just not substantial enough for the Chicago public school system. That's 20,000 students having a feeling of rejection, of not having anything to do after school. In addition to those two programs mentioned earlier, the other programs include college readiness, driving lessons, sports teams, and book clubs. These programs do not show a well rounded approach to after school care for teens that is necessary to engage the whole person. A well rounded after school program that is fully funded engages participants effectively, provides academic support, and promotes positive adult interactions. The specific nature and limitations of other programs results in the need for a larger program to aid a vast amount of students and accept every individual that applies to the program. Specifically, there is a need to target at-risk and vulnerable youth to keep them engaged. With limited opportunities for after-school engagement, teens are more likely to be involved in delinquent behaviors, which could lead to crime and lifelong substance abuse. Since the gap in after school care seems to be focused on low income families and at risk youth, I recommend that the school district provide after school programs in their facilities to these children with little to no cost for the families. These programs can and will provide safe supervision while also providing them with engaging activities and academic support. With more programs available to low income families, children are less likely to perform delinquent acts. Quality programming can offer a great deal of benefits to youth, which we'll discuss in just a little bit. But for now, these programs will not only help students who participate in them, but will aid in building a better future and a stronger community. So now, let's take a look at the importance of after-school programs and why it would be beneficial for the Chicago Board of Education to consider funding additional programs for teens. As mentioned before, the hours between 3 to 7, some studies say about 6, some say 7, children are often unsupervised while their parents or caregivers are still at work. This unsupervised time gives teens the opportunity to engage in risky behaviors. This means that providing supervision in a safe environment during this bracket of time would be beneficial for teens and likely help reduce delinquent behaviors. Since the hours between 3 to about 7 p.m. makes the teen more vulnerable to delinquent behaviors, after-school programs can fill this time with meaningful engagement. These programs have been shown to have numerous benefits for their participants, their families, as well as the community. The benefits are larger than academics. While of course you will see a vast improvement in the academic ability, there are other benefits provided by these programs. Such benefits include an increased self-esteem and confidence in the teens, improved social and emotional health, increased community engagement, and lastly, it supplements the school day. So now, let's take a closer look at the benefits of after-school programs. First off, you will see a higher self-esteem and confidence within the teenagers. Students who engage in after-school programs gain improved self-esteem and confidence in themselves and their abilities. This confidence allows them to see opportunities for themselves beyond school. They now feel as if they could possibly continue on with their education, get the career they wanted, move to another country. They see the world as open to them now because someone has shown them that that is a possibility. It can also enhance their personal lives by giving them motivation and a vision for your future. Just as stated before, these children now see their potential. Teens who view themselves as valuable to their community will most likely be more engaged in positive behaviors that enhance their community as well. Let's discuss the second benefit of after-school programs: improved social behavior. Studies have shown that students who participate in after-school programs show improved social behaviors. Such high-quality programs teach teens how to behave in healthy ways and promote positive social interactions. These teens now have the opportunity to interact with other individuals who they may not have met previously if they would not have been for the program. These positive social interactions happen at all levels. These teens learn to engage with adults in a positive manner, as well as with each other through group activities. Learning positive social behaviors is important for anyone and has lifelong benefits. It will not only help the teens make friends in the present day, but will be able to help them get a career, get into college, and simply have a social life in the future. The third mentioned benefit of after school programs is improved academic performance, which, of course, this is our number one priority and something that we would love to see across the board for every single academic after school program. With its supportive structure, an after school program is the perfect place for teens to get help with homework. In high quality programs, tutors are available to assist the teens with school projects and any problematic concept that they may be learning in school. As well, the teenagers are allowed to work through their other classwork that maybe they're not struggling with, but have the confidence to know that if they do find an issue, there is someone close by to be able to help them. Again, the studies show that these benefits increase academic performance in the participants, which can be brought back into the classroom and excite them to learn. I believe this is an extremely beneficial aspect to after school programs. Last, but certainly not least, is the benefit of after school programs seen through community engagement. Such programs allow children to expand their horizons, branch out from their normal worlds, and become part of their community and see what's going on around them. Teens can be engaged civically when involved in after school programs through volunteering, on the job training, and even employment opportunities. All of these opportunities connect the teens to their local communities while helping them become responsible citizens. Many after school programs for teens provide assistance with job searching, interview skills, and resume writing. Helping these teens transition into the workplace is a vital support mechanism, and after school is a great place to provide that support. I've spent much of this presentation using the words high quality program, after school program, but I never explained what that meant. What is a high quality program? There's much research on this, but it often shows that an after school program is only successful when it has quality components. A poorly designed or structured after school program can be detrimental to participants. So it's important to look at what those components are that make up an after school program and what makes them high quality. Since I am recommending that the Chicago Board of Education creates more programs, I want to be able to provide you with those building blocks to make high quality programs and make it easy to set these programs up so that everybody in the community can benefit from them. So, what are these aforementioned building blocks of a high quality after school program? Let's take a look. So, a high quality program should provide teens with a safe space and appropriate supervision. While we want them to feel as if they have freedom, we also need to know that they are safe, they're not participating in any delinquent behaviors, and they're actually benefiting from these programs. Supervision should be provided by quality caregivers who are adequately trained and familiar with the specific population that it serves. Allowing people to come from the community helps these children, especially with their community engagement, and excites them to know that there's people out there that are different from them. These programs should be easily accessible for students and families with little to no cost or transportation requirements, which is where the facilities come into play. I believe the best solution to this question at hand is that we provide these programs within the schools themselves. Even the cafeteria, just at a location where the students can kind of be free, feel comfortable, especially at their school where they've been before and they spend every single day. And then one of the most important factors to consider in a high quality program is that it is offered at little to no cost for families, especially because the students that we are focusing on right now are economically disadvantaged students. There's a reason that their parents are working all day long and they have this bracket of time where they're not being watched. They need to be able to participate in these programs without the stress of the finance and without being overly involved in what's going on with their parents. Providing programs like this will allow the students to be taken off the street and reduce the risks that they often face. A high quality after school program is more successful in maintaining participation in this regard if the program does not cost anything. In addition to the 3 previously discussed qualities of after school programs, there's still a few more building blocks that aid into the success of these programs. A quality after school program should contain highly qualified staff and caregivers, individuals who are not only trained but feel comfortable, show concern, provide structure, as well as support for the children. The staff should be trained in after-school care and know how to provide the students with fun and inviting atmosphere. Their program should have a nice combination of both academic support and enrichment activities. Such enrichment activities are great and help the child gain leadership skills, think critically, and advance socially. Students are more likely to stay engaged if the activities are fun, but also not only just fun, just structured, provide learning opportunities without being obviously academic. And as we've stated before, academic support is very important, but the time should be limited. Students should make the decision after an allocated amount of time if they would like to remain with the tutor or continue on with activities such as those previously discussed. They should not be obligated to only complete homework. If they feel as if they are struggling or if they just want to be in there, that's absolutely fine. So what have we learned? We've learned that there's 6 key factors in creating a successful after-school program, but these factors just really aim for one thing: to create a strong community within the after-school program, create trust, security, structure within these programs between everybody, not just for the teenagers involved, but for their families, their teachers, the caregivers that are taking care of them, and truthfully, anyone within their lives. So now, let's recap and just go over a little bit of the information that I've previously discussed. So the Chicago Public School District has a specific need in its community to engage its teens in after-school programs in order to keep them from committing crimes and engaging in delinquent behaviors. Throughout this presentation, we have looked at some of the resources that are already in existence for after-school programs, and as we have stated, while they are wonderful and amazing inclusive programs, they're just unfortunately not large enough to be able to help as many students as necessary. We have also determined that there is a gap in services and that more programs are needed. This way, every student can be reached, not just the 40%, 100%. We have also looked at why after-school programs are so important to these teens. And now we've gone over research supports after-school programs. It clearly states that students who are engaged, who are in school, who have a job, tend to do better, do not partake in delinquent behaviors. And in turn, those students who are not in school, do not have a job, have nothing working for them, tend to be out on the streets, using drugs, having unsafe sex. So after-school programs are the key solution to this issue in your community. But now, I leave it in your hands. And I hope that you will look at the evidence that I've provided you with and make the decision to increase the funding for after-school programs within your community. But that's not it. It doesn't stop there. These programs need the components that we just recently discussed in order to be successful. And I think that you have the tools to make that happen. With your facilities, access to libraries, communities, transportation, and other resources, I believe you're in the best position to implement these programs in the community. And as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. So today, I hope you'll use your power to make positive change and allow teens to have access to many more after-school programs. I want to thank you for your time and your consideration. Have a wonderful day.